The storm was a monstrous entity, a great purpling bruise that swallowed the horizon over the savanna. It was not the rain the band of Australopithecus afarensis feared, but what the rain brought. Koro, a male whose weathered frame spoke of countless dry seasons, scented the air, his flat nose flaring. The smell was of ozone and wet earth, but beneath it something else, the acrid, terrifying scent of smoke. The first domino fell from the sky. A white-hot claw of lightning struck a distant ridge. For a moment, nothing. Then, a flicker of orange, a tiny, malevolent eye that winked and grew, fanned by the rising wind. Fire. This was the first twist. Their world, defined by the fear of predators and the search for water, was now confronted by a new elemental terror. The band, a dozen individuals, erupted in frantic grunts and gestures. They had seen brush fires before, always from a distance, a force that cleansed and terrified in equal measure, but this was different. The wind was driving the wall of flame directly toward their refuge, a shallow cave in the sandstone cliffs. The choice was primal: stay and be smoked out like a trapped animal, or flee into the open savanna, where the hunting clans of Dinofelis waited in the tall grass. Koro made the decision, his gesture toward the plains a sharp, desperate slash of his hand. They ran. The fire was a roaring beast at their backs, its heat licking at their heels, the smoke a choking fog that stung their eyes and filled their lungs. They were bipedal apes, built for endurance, not speed, and the terror lent a frantic edge to their gait. The second twist emerged from the chaos of their flight. As they burst from a burning thicket into a gully, they came face to face with another terror. A megantrion, a saber-toothed cat, had been similarly flushed from its cover. It was cornered, terrified, and infinitely dangerous. Its eyes, wide with animal fear, locked onto the closest member of the band, a young female, Nala, carrying her infant on her back. This was the climactic struggle. The fire was a closing wall to the east, the cat a wall of teeth and muscle to the west. There was no escape. The band froze, a tableau of impending doom. But then, a spark of something new, something beyond instinct, flared. Koro, without breaking his gaze from the cat, stooped and grabbed a fallen burning branch from the advancing fire line. The flames danced along the dry wood, a thing of pure destructive power. He did not throw it. He brandished it. He took a step forward, then another, thrusting the firebrand toward the great cat. The megantrion, its instinctual fear of fire overriding its hunger, recoiled. It snarled, swiping a massive paw at the incomprehensible, moving flame. Koro held his ground, a shaggy bipedal silhouette against the inferno, holding a piece of the sun itself in his hand. The standoff lasted 3 heartbeats. With a final frustrated scream, the cat turned and fled, vanishing into the smoke in the opposite direction. The band did not pause. They scrambled up the other side of the gully, the fire now a raging river behind them. They ran until their lungs burned, until the roaring faded to a crackle, and they collapsed, heaving on the banks of a wide, slow-moving river. They had crossed through the heart of the beast and emerged on the other side. The resolution came with the dawn. The world was blackened and steaming, but alive. The fire had passed. Exhausted, they huddled together. The infant, frightened but alive, whimpered. Nala, in a gesture of profound trust and understanding, looked at Koro, then at the smoldering stump of a tree nearby. A single stubborn flame still flickered there. Koro approached it not with fear, but with a slow, deliberate caution. He gathered dry grass and twigs that the fire had missed and carefully nurtured the flame, transferring it to a small, controlled pile. It was no longer a monster. It was a tool, a resource. That night, for the first time, They did not shiver in the dark. The circle of firelight pushed back the shadows, and the eyes that gleam from the darkness kept their distance. They roasted tubers dug from the earth, the heat making them easier to eat and digest. The shared warmth, the crackle of their own, tamed fire, the safety it provided, this was the emotional payoff. It was a renewal more profound than any season. Koro stared into the flames, and in their dance, he saw the future. They were no longer just prey, just foragers. They had stolen a claw from the world itself. The long, dark night of fear had ended. The age of fire had begun.